This title is narrated with virtual voice, computer-generated narration for audiobooks. The Mage's Heir by Arden, Vale. In a cosmos this wide, even the improbable one day wakes and walks. Preface. To aid the reader in better understanding the complex world they are about to encounter, certain relevant information is provided in the notes section at the end of this work. Prologue. She was golden when she came, not the pale gold of sunrise, but the molten hue of honey poured over flame. Her skin held the sheen of warm metal. Her hair shimmered as if spun from sunlight through amber wine. Not human, no, never that, but something older, stranger, drawn from the deep forest's breath and the secret worship of forgotten gods. The air around her seemed to taste faintly of musk and stormlight. Her people had once dwelled in the cloud-bridged heights of Alfheimer, among the Lhozalfa, wings like living flame, voices spun from sunfire and dew. They were the Lurelei, children of the living light, who would not bend the knee to the covenant of order when the first sundering came. For that defiance they were not slain, but exiled into silence. The high winds that bore their songs were stilled. Their names were brushed from the constellations as if they had never been. Lixa bore the exile like a jewel and a wound. The golden sigil near her sex was the mark of her oath, not to the light that banished her, but to the truth she had never abandoned. Upon the curve of her left breast bloomed the rune of memory, its edges faint with time, but quick to glow when touched by fire or by lips. The courts above would never call her home. Yet she remembered, and in remembering, she kept the taste of what was stolen. When she found the boy with the fifth element sleeping beneath the two moons, her pulse quickened. The air shimmered faintly around him. The pull was irresistible. She did not yet know his road, only that it wound toward a reckoning her kind had long awaited. She would follow, not as shadow nor as servant, but as a bright and dangerous thing, her wings folded, her touch warm, her mouth carrying the promise of both comfort and ruin. And when the hour came to set the old wrongs right, she would be ready. And thus our story begins. Chapter 1. The Red Mare. It is Vore that season which falls between winter and spring, the 4th day of the 5th month, rain's wind, in the year 927. Evening fell softly on the village of Briarford, wrapping its crooked cottages and muddy lanes in a gentle blue haze. Beyond the fields and sheepfolds, the low hills faded into mist, the hedgerows darkening to shadow. Smoke curled from a dozen thatched chimneys, and the damp, loamy scent of turned earth lingered in the air after the day's light rain. At the heart of the village stood the Red Mare, a weathered 2-story inn, with its paint long faded, and a carved wooden mare rearing above the door. The sign creaked lazily in the wind. Inside, warmth spilled from fire and lanterns alike, and the low rumble of quiet voices blended with the pop of the hearth. Behind the bar, Rafe moved like someone who knew the space better than his own thoughts. He ladled thick venison stew from a cast-iron pot into earthenware bowls, wiping the rim of each with a damp cloth before setting it on the bar. 2 farmers sat hunched over their mugs, and a travelling tinker in a patched cloak chewed methodically at a hunk of bread in the corner. The dog lay curled beneath the table, tail twitching in its sleep. Rafe was 18, broad of shoulder and narrow of waist, with dark tousled hair and eyes the colour of blue sky, warm and a little too knowing for his age. He wore a linen shirt rolled to the elbows, snug leather trousers tucked into worn boots.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.